Hello and welcome to episode 185 of our SAP on Azure video podcast. Today is March 29th, and together with Robert and Goran, we are here to talk about anything related to SAP and Microsoft. Hello, everyone. So a little over a year ago, ChatGPT changed the way how we think about AI. ChatGPT allowed everyone to interact with a bot in ways that were not possible before. OpenAI then soon introduced ChatGPT Pro, and with that also the possibility to extend ChatGPT with additional content and features. Amit Lal was very early and released an SAP and Azure Bot in the GPT Store. Today, he will show us the bot and tell us a little about other SAP and AI use cases. Welcome, Amit. Before we go into the topic, can you quickly introduce yourself? Tell us a little about what you do at Microsoft, and let's start with this.
Absolutely. Thanks, Holger. Thanks for having me on your prestigious podcast channel. I'm working as a principal technical specialist architect, currently weaving magic at Microsoft for almost 4 years by marrying SAP and Azure to create cloud masterpieces. That's my role. Working under a strategic partnership team belt for specific S500 customers to bring their SAP heavy workloads onto Azure. That's my role. Also, I do have a suitcase full of 24 years in SAP consulting, enough to hold technical certification to my wall in a big room. So and I'm SAP alumni as well. So one exciting fact about me is I do have 11,000 plus followers on LinkedIn. So I'm very much close to get top voice in AI tag from LinkedIn. That is a different topic. So I'm kind of following with LinkedIn to get a good tag on my profile. Today I'm going to show you some magical features about GPT Store and how I built and what actually inspired me, and technical nut bolts how it works, and also we'll see some niche SAP and OpenAI integration demos. It's kind of a trailer for next podcast maybe. So I'll jump into. Let me share my screen. I'll start with some good prompt.
But while you open this up, so the cool thing is you have a very extensive SAP background, so you know SAP inside out, and at the second and on the other side, you are also very well connected with AI, or very deep in the different AI topics, and I think that was obviously one of the reasons why you ended up building the SAP on Azure bot in the ChatGPT store.
Absolutely, yeah. And Holger, you can see my screen, right?
I can see your screen. Is it possible to increase the size maybe a little? Oh no, actually this is good now, I think.
Oh, perfect. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of a opening page. I just want to set the stage before we'll go deep into GPT Store. So very first thing, why I'm getting into OpenAI and AI technology is something. It's a futuristic thing. First of all, without AI, any enterprise is not going to work, right? So in future, it's kind of every vertical, every domain is kind of integrated with AI now. So you talk about any finance enterprise or any sales enterprise, any enterprise is working is 100% has to be integrated. That's the future. So coming back to this GPT store, you can see what my OpenAI has actually announced back in January 10. Let me show you this one. Yeah. Yeah, so OpenAI came up with Sam Altman announced back in the month of November, sometime 2023, and there was custom GPT has to be there because a lot of it's more like a purpose-driven GPTs. It's anyone can create tailored version of ChatGPT. So in general, ChatGPT provides you very holistic, high-level information. But when we talk about GPT Store, it talks specifically about the domain, whatever the domain you're going to create. So that was kind of niche for me. I thought, okay, let's to help our community, SAP on Azure community, let's create one good custom GPT store where you can plug your all questions and put all queries. It's like a virtual basis engineer, Azure engineer is sitting next to you and is going to help you to, provide you all kind of solution on a very high level. So
Hmm.
right now, if you see my store here, yeah, so this is the
Hmm.
one. Here you can see, the bunch of GPT stores available. It's a GPT store, and you can see all the GPTs are available. It's all custom version. Every day what I have read from the blog of OpenAI, they are creating like hundreds of GPTs on a daily basis. Depending on your requirement, you
Yeah.
can create this particular thing. So and you just click on SAP, and the very first thing you will see, and the second one, this is our SAP on Azure Technical Copilot. That's a naming convention I
Hmm.
use, so that if you search with Azure, or you search with SAP, or you just search with Copilot, it will quickly come onto the screen. And the good thing to note, it has to be a GPT Plus subscription. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to pay to use this. It's not free for audience. You have to be, subscriber to get, leverage this feature.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, and you can see, that there are a couple of, prompts already available. So let me try some, good prompts, which I have captured to show you how it actually works. So I'm going to copy paste. So by default you see there are 4 prompts just to set the
To
stage.
get you started. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and I just paste one of the known prompt, configuring SAP HANA system replication. That's kind of a
Hmm. Hmm.
complex question. In general, when we talk to any customer, they have queries. Okay, how we can bring S4 HANA system onto cloud, onto Azure, right? So this is
Hmm.
the very first thing. We go to HSR to run the replication. So exact same question I'm going to ask my technical copilot and see how it
Hmm.
behaves and
Hmm.
works. Show me the command lines as well. So let's see how efficiently it works.
So, and while we wait for the answer, the huge difference is now I could obviously ask the same answer in ChatGPT, but ChatGPT,
Yes.
without Plus, and without using your specific bot,
Yeah,
ChatGPT doesn't know the specific knowledge, domain knowledge. I mean, maybe it
exactly.
has some of the information, but it has everything basically. And here in your chatbot, so in the SAP on Azure Technical Copilot that you have developed,
Exactly.
you have provided it with specific information on SAP on Azure. So and that's
Yes.
nice. So it provides a
Yeah.
quick intro, the preparation steps, the configuration. Hmm.
Exactly. And behind the scene, how it actually working, I'm going to show you. It's like a curtain raiser for you. It's more of a the technology underneath. I am using the documentation from Azure, documentation from SAP, and of course a
Hmm.
couple of APIs to call various plugins to combine this entire ecosystem to get command lines and the flow, and it should not go outside the prompt, because
Hmm.
sometimes you have seen the common GPT, it goes outside and start looking other
Yeah.
things. So it is focused, aligned just for required answering. And plus you can see it giving you the administration guide link, which you can just click on the link, and it automatically give you I click on Azure documentation workload, it automatically takes you to that link. So it's more of
Cool.
a
It has the
yeah, it's more of a easy peasy for any intern who's actually learning, and some junior basis team member who wants to explore without taking help from the leads, and understanding that underneath technology. It's a very helpful tool. I am getting a lot of positive feedbacks, and it's actually good, and I am actually using a lot, and my colleagues are also giving me very good feedback. So just an example here. list SAP few dumps. So in general, as a basis operation manager, every morning we used to have production dumps, right? So how to fix that dump? So first, just to get my knowledge base is strong enough to capture very high level potential dumps usually happen on production. So it lists down all dumps here, and then you can pick specific dumps out of this list, or you can just paste exact dump. It will provide you some solution and mapping to the SAP KBAs or knowledge base. So that's how this is working. And
this is really cool, and especially this is your technical expert, your technical buddy that you can ask.
exactly.
Similar, like maybe I would call you, Amit, here I have a problem with these dumps, and then you would provide me with the answer. Now I have this Copilot buddy that I can ask, and then here this technical Copilot provides me with answers from the SAP and Azure area, basically.
Exactly. And the best feature about GPT Store is it's a continuous discussion. It's not like, it's in general, GPT, you just ask prompt and it's done. In this case, this communication is going back and forth, and it memorizes what you are talking about, and then it keep going and preserving all the memory parameters, whatever the prompts we are asking. So it's not forgetting what we have asked in the past chat. So that's the beauty of GPT Store. Let's say in this case, more about done pro send in background, right? So this is very common RFP error. So it will explain me, what the background behind, what actually caused these kind of dumps. So it's more of an educational plus helping tool. And sitting next to you, you can, call whenever you see production issues or some sandbox, spinning up, and it's focused on SAP on Azure specifically.
Really cool, yeah.
Yeah.
And also that I can drill down. So as what you showed before, first give me the list, and now you picked one of the items, and now you get a much more detailed overview of what's happening there. Really nice.
Yes. Now I'm going to ask one of I want to create custom Power App. That's your favorite topic, I remember. So it's kind of what I was actually learning to create some OData connector, custom OData connector with the help of this particular tool, and it actually helped me a lot when I was kind of creating my Early Watch Reader Power App. So this tool actually helped me to create the connector and overall solution, how I should start and what areas I should be looking and what OData I should be fetching. So it's kind of solid tool, I would say, and it's very helpful. So I'm going to ask a couple of more things, then I'll show you, behind the scene.
I want to create a
Power App with the OData connection using sales order from S/4HANA. Please provide me the steps.
Oh, cool.
High level. So let's see, it's I always testing the waters, how deep it can go. But this model, which I have prepared, it's running since November, the moment it got live. And my model is getting so fine-tuned now. It's capable of handling complex queries like HANA N+1, HANA N+N, HANA N+M. So those are the complex consulting level, queries. Usually we ask how we can do the rolling maintenance. Is there any way we can set up the DevOps? So very deep dive, kind of consulting questions. It was capable of, providing me right solution, right answers. That's the beauty of this tool. So yeah,
nice.
For you, it's pretty easy to understand, what exactly is talking about. On a high level, we have to create check what OData services are existing, and this is the URL. And it's creating the new app, how you can start spinning up Power Apps, step by step, guidance. So
that's really nice, actually. And now I could obviously have some follow-up questions. Now I have the overall flow. Yeah, I even get some best practices, security, performance, user experience. And similar like what you showed before with ST22, I could now probably ask, well, how do I create specifically the Power App? Or are there some security recommendations? How would I do single sign-on or something like that? So cool, really
Exactly.
nice,
Yeah. So this
really
is
nice.
the front end, for all the users. Now let's talk about behind the scene how it actually working. I'll take a step back here and show you on my. Okay. So very first thing, let me open this GPT. Give me 1 second here.
And again, while you do this,
Mhm.
I need obviously in order to use this, I need to have a ChatGPT Plus subscription from
Exactly. Yes.
OpenAI basically.
Yes.
But
It's a
then,
$20.
uh,
Yeah.
but then I can use this plugin or this GPT for free basically, right? Or are you charging for this one?
No, this is all free. Once you have a monthly $20 subscription, that comes
Exactly.
as a part. And there are some, workarounds to get, but that is something, I'm exploring, like, creating an API and putting this technical copilot into a custom website. But that is kind of a phase two, which I'm actually thinking to develop, but based on the, time constraints, of
No,
course.
all
Yeah.
good. I I basically just wanted to highlight that you are offering this for free, basically. I mean, yes, the user needs to have a
Yeah.
GPT Plus subscription, but
Yes.
then once they have this, they can use this Copilot for free, which is actually pretty cool.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's the whole idea. And this morning what I have done, I have just for the sampler, I
Hmm.
created GPT. So in case, let's say you want to create a new guide, right? A new SAP on Azure guide,
Yeah.
which can provide you some kind of guidance. So I go and created one just for sake of. And what exactly it does is, let's start with the new one, just to be more interactive in terms of what exactly I'm. So this is the platform.
Hmm.
I want to create a GPT for SAP on Azure, which helps technical team to support basis operations. Just an example, okay?
Yeah.
And what GPT Builder does is it goes and collect all information relevant to this particular domain, and it provides you kickstart, giving you the prompts. This is how it should look like.
Hmm.
Kind of it's a state setting, and it's you can see it's asking me how about this name. If I say
Yeah.
yes, so it will give me some ideas and then create the logo for my store. It's a profile picture you can change, of course, depending on your audience. And for me, I have created one's beautiful logo which has SAP and GPT combined.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you can see
Oh,
is
nice.
yeah, so by default it's giving me yes. So it's no code kind of feature. You can
Hmm.
start building a GPT store, without programming experience. But in my
Yeah.
case, since it was kind of a expert level, so I did some coding to get more out of my GPT models. So for the
Hmm.
beginner, you can start playing and creating some good fancy GPT. Okay,
Very
so
cool. Yeah.
yeah, this is the beginning stage, and then I create the button here. First, I have to start. Let's summarize on topics like SAP and Azure and basis. So what it does is going to create a prompt for me. Then
That's
I'll
actually
I'll
pretty
go to
cool. So the GPT builder guides you through a conversation, and
yes.
during this conversation, it builds up this new GPT, that you can use then to interact on a high level. I mean,
Yes.
as you said, the result will be a very simple GPT, and you in your specific SAP on Azure Technical Copilot bot, you did a lot of more work, but to get someone started,
Yes.
the GPT Builder is a very easy way to get started and build your own GPT in the which then I guess can be published in the GPT store.
Exactly. Yeah, it's more of a beginner level. I want
Hmm.
to show, to the audience that anyone can create GPT store. Once you kick off, then it start asking questions on the particular domain. It can be any domain. You can create on Power Apps. You can create on Azure. So
Hmm.
it's more of a domain friendly. Once I create that, what it does is, I go to configuration here, and you can see here, you can name
Ah,
your
okay.
GPT, and
Yeah.
then the description automatically it start filling up based on
Yeah.
your inputs and all the conversation starters, the first beginner prompts it gives you. So it's kind of getting the knowledge from you and then start
Hmm.
building and viewing the GPT. So the next level, what I have done is creating the knowledge. You can see here, you can upload the file contents, and then
Yeah.
these files will be helpful to educate my model. It's like a foundational model. You can plug your information, and that GPT will become fine-tuned on a daily basis, creating and reading that content and table. And you can have a code interpreter, which is
Hmm.
more for calculations, running some kind of a codes which I have enabled. In my case, I don't want image generation because basis team
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
have
Klar. Yeah.
so I never created that. So just an example here, I upload one file. um, this is my core file. I'll show you here.
Hmm. And that's a Word document or a text
Yes.
document, maybe an MD file or something like that. Um,
Exactly. So you see here, you can
or
do,
PDF.
SAP notes. You can create a big PDF. Let me
Hmm.
show you. So this one, 87 MB, which I created. Let me show you the content of this one. This is the master file. It has everything from start to end. How SAP on Azure works. How I created this one. That's I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is kind of 2,500 page document.
So
It's,
this
it's,
is
it's a big
your
document.
master document with everything that there is to know about SAP and Microsoft.
Yes, it's like a brain behind entire documentation. You can see, 2,421 pages. It's the entire documentation.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Beginning from SAP on Azure, and it
Nice.
contains everything, each and every topic, and it has all SAP notes. So it's easily to digest by model, and the model can fine tune based on this information. And you can generate by let me show you here. This is our front page. You can click on the
Hmm.
download PDF. So this will bind all your SAP documentation. Plus, what I have done, I have added some of the more content into my PDF document, just to make sure that I'm not missing some of the complex topic. So
Yeah.
once this is uploaded, let me show you here. I go back here, and so So once I upload this, it will start scanning, and it will
Hmm.
start creating a knowledge base. This is level one. So once you
Hmm.
have
Yeah.
file uploads, and then the second part comes, the create new actions. What it does is it is actually uh, in case some of the live queries happens, and some users want more precise information, like more deep dive, like in our example, Power Apps. So how that information, let's say if that information is not available in the PDF document, so
Hmm.
how we will get that information into our model. So for that we have additional actions. You can bring all the URLs from whatever the topic you want to select, uh, bind it into the schema, create OpenAI API, and from this API you can easily plug and pull all URL information. That's a beauty, and this is what the LangChain behind the scene is working. What it does, it chops all the URL. Let's say you have one URL which has a a subdomain. It automatically start creating the web crawlers, and that web crawlers will start reading all the content. So
Yeah.
it becomes fine tuned on a day, every usage basis. It gets more mature over the period of time. And how you can, it's pretty easy. You can go and take a help from Action GPT. That's OpenAI service. It's a service GPT which is provided by OpenAI to create the APIs. So for the newbies, like somebody who doesn't know how to create APIs, so this Action GPT will help you to create additional APIs. So let me show you here. So in this case, I took a help of Action GPT to create, my APIs. So in my case, I'll show you, this is the one.
So now again, Actions GPT is helping you in a conversational style. That you
Yes.
enter some questions, that you enter your intents, and then
Yes.
Action GPT helps you to create the relevant functions in the end.
API to pull SAP on Azure site details. Provide me the code. So what it does is it's going to give you the sampler, and meanwhile it's developing. So it's going to create a URL and endpoint URLs, which in any API we need, right? Three things: endpoints and HTTP method, how we are pulling that, just like Postman call. It gives you the content of as a YAML file. You can copy paste and tweak this based on your requirement. In my case, I'll show you my code. So this is the one I created. So you can see initial crawl. Let me go up a bit. So in this case, you can see my Open API is 3.10. I supposed to upgrade to 1 now. It's released few weeks back. What it does is it's going to create an initial crawl on my HTTP learn dot
Okay.
So this one. So this is example, and I'm keeping just example for audience, and then in case it is not able to get it, throws me 404. So this is how the flow is actually designed. You can add as many as URLs you want, like for the Power Apps, for HADR topic, or
Yeah.
any logic apps. So whatever the Azure services are underneath, you can start providing the URL into this, and then it start fetching all the high level information, and then this becomes fine tuned because this robot.txt, that is actually the web term where the web developers knows very well on robot.txt. That is the file is created, and it start leveraging and pulling all the information live from these websites. So that's a beauty. And
Cool.
once you create this, it's pretty straightforward to leverage. But again, since OpenAI is working continually, they are they stopped providing more access. Like earlier I used to look my model to go into fine tune my LangChain mechanism. So those are now they have restricted. Now they are focusing on no code kind of scenario. I mean it's kind of more restricted now, but pretty easy for citizen developers to create this GPT.
Really nice, yeah, and that's where you have your magic basically. So not only using the straightforward GPT Builder stuff where you just enter some prompts and upload maybe some documents, even though the document obviously is fantastic, but here's also the magic where you have your secret sauce that makes the SAP on Azure Technical Copilot so special.
Exactly. And if you can test your APIs, in my case I have to tweak a little bit because I have to give exact information. So what it does is it's going to test before launch. So once everything is done, then what it does is you can click on create. It can be public, it can be private, it can be, audience specific. So it depends on your, appetite, whom you are, developing for. In some cases, some enterprise wants only, focusing for their internal team members. They
Yeah.
can create for their own. So that's thing. And it's going to ask me, whether I confirm HTTP endpoint, which is pretty normal, and then it start pulling the information. So it's going to throw some error because I have to change
All
some of
good.
the code. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
all good.
this is the behind the scene thing.
Cool.
Any questions?
No, I think this is really, really fantastic, and I think it was great to see at least how you started to develop it. I mean, I fully understand that you cannot show all the details of what lies behind the SAP on Azure Technical Copilot, because there is a lot of knowledge, there is a lot of time and effort that you spend on creating the Copilot. But it was fantastic to
Yes.
see the concepts how you can do this.
Yes.
And
That's a beauty of this tool. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Maybe what I would like to quickly call out, obviously a lot of similar things are now also available with Copilot Studio. I mean, Microsoft is going in a similar direction with this, obviously, and the Copilot Studio obviously has a lot of
Yeah.
integrations into. Okay, I see you have something already there prepared. Also
Yeah.
with
So
the
this
whole
is
M365.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's GPT Store is belongs to OpenAI, right? So
Yes.
in a similar pattern, Microsoft is working. So we are close partners. Of course, we have all technologies underneath of OpenAI is working for Azure OpenAI. So we are leveraging Microsoft Copilot. As you can see, Microsoft Copilot is integrated in each and every service products of Microsoft. So it is kind of GA now. You can plug any services, any Copilot. So for my customers, like specific to S500 customers, they always ask whether we should use extended Microsoft Copilot or we should
Mhm.
create our own custom Copilot, depending on their appetite, what they are actually trying to achieve. In some cases, for SAP, we usually recommending to build a custom Copilot that is
Mhm.
more domain specific driven. You want to have a sales data, or you want to have some specific areas which Copilot can help you out. So depending on our audience and customer requirement, it's highly flexible. How
Yeah.
to develop that is something we are focusing on now. So in my internal lab, I have created a couple of Copilots, which I'm going to show you on a very high level.
Mhm.
This is more of a template. We are developing own Copilots. The next level is AI agents, which is autonomous AI agents. AutoGen Framework and TaskWeaver. Those are the next level co-pilots where you can bring an army of co-pilots agents. They can talk to each other, run the code, execute the stuff, and take your approval. So it's
Mhm.
co-pilot is just like a helper, but AI agents it's a next level, which I'm actually working on. I'm going to show you in a minute. um, so very first thing, I ask always, my customers to, what kind of LLM they are focusing on, whether it's a proprietary or it's a open source,
Mhm.
depending on, if it is proprietary, of course, OpenAI, Azure OpenAI is of good choice, and it binds with, data preparation, data governance, and of course, the responsible AI also come into picture. Then comes your, SAP integration in the last. You have to have, complete chain to build any, Gen AI LLM application. It's like a flow. You have to start weaving and connecting all this requirement. If you have a good data, definitely your AI app is going to be flawless without any issues. But if you have kind of a bad data, then your
Yeah,
AI
yeah.
app will be it's not functioning properly. Of course, all the deciding criteria, privacy, quality, cost, latency, do matter when it comes to large enterprises. To show you, this is kind of a persona I'm actually developing. It's depending on the audience. In case we have a business audience, business users, we
Mhm.
have developed the Copilot focusing on business areas. And if we have an audience from bases or ABAP developers, then we have a dedicated Copilot talking about their specific helps. And then, of course, Copilot for SAP analyst and reporting team is also available in case they want to play around with functionality of Copilot and along with SAP. So that's how I'm actually creating segregation. Whosoever is audience, we start running those kind of demos. So
Mhm.
I'll show you very high level. And of course, there are business benefits, why we are running this. It actually helps to speed up your process.
Yeah.
Just an example, Copilot for SAP HR, you can write the job description quickly, which used to take a day or two. Of course, job queries, answering automatically and giving, policy driven, whether, the policies are compliant for the new candidates. So those are the things, AI always coming as a helping hand.
Hmm.
Product catalog, AI agent. In this particular demo, what I have done is you can scan the entire product catalog, and then AI agent talking to each other as a data engineer, as a code runner. So they will talk to each other and decide which code's supposed to be run, and it has to be approved by a data engineer. So
Oh, cool.
that's something, AutoGen framework, which actually Microsoft research team has developed, is
Hmm.
kind of
Hmm.
getting a lot of momentum. Andrew Nag, machine learning, a guy who's actually, also looking towards that. I was reading some of the white papers. He's also, exploring these features. So in this case, one example, procurement agent, it can, summarize your contract. It can run the Q&A on the specific contract. So that contract is residing in S4. You can pull and, it can, scan the entire contract. It can predict the contract. So depending on your, requirement, this particular agent can capable of handling any kind of, procurement requirements. So it's like procurement agent sitting next to you. It can easily, provide you
Cool.
the insight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is, the X-ray of the flow, how it actually working. I do have, a live demo, but because of time, I can show you underneath what exactly we are actually cooking up. So on the right side, taking the, the domain expertise specific on Azure Bot, whether it's
Hmm.
a front
Hmm.
end can be Teams, it can be Azure Bot channel, depending on your front
Hmm.
end, whatever the consumer is using. And depending on the questions, it goes and connect to the SQL server, and then or your blob storage, wherever your knowledge base is residing. It
Yeah.
scans and then create a prompt and goes back to the Azure OpenAI and pull the information. Of course, our data is coming from SAP S4 or ECC, depending on whatever the backend you are leveraging. These are the some of the tables which we pull
Hmm.
from SAP
Hmm.
system, feed it into Azure SQL to get information right up front. So this is kind of a live demo I can show you. Other than that, I have a couple of, this is the one which I actually personally like, AI Copilot. Actually, I wrote one of the white paper on this one. It's more of a, how AI Copilot is differentiate from autonomous agents. So that's something, autonomous agents can execute the task. AI Copilot, they can just assist, what you want information from the system. So education part, when it comes, your autonomous agents is going to be super helpful. And I think by 2025, AI autonomous agents going to be, going to be leveraged, on a higher side, because it's kind of helping. And you can see in the physical world, like, a lot of big companies are creating, androids and robotic arms and all those things. So this is more for the virtual world, which going to help on creating. These are the two frameworks which Microsoft Research is actually developing. One is AutoGen and one is TaskWeaver.
Oh,
AutoGen
okay.
is, yeah. So this is directly coming from Microsoft Research team, and they have created, and it was few months back, both were trending on GitHub. And what I have done, I picked up the information from them, and I start leveraging into SAP, how SAP can get benefit of leveraging these AI frameworks. So I
Hmm.
developed some, a homegrown project. Just an example here, Microsoft AutoGen framework. What it does, you have to create an agent, virtual agent. Each agent is responsible for doing some execution. So in
Hmm.
this case, you can see, user proxy is a query agent who's a business user who goes and asks for, to the planner, hey, I want that particular information from SAP system. So this query agent is going back to SAP data AI engineer, and data engineer is going to create a query for to run this entire scenario, and then SAP query agent is going to run that query. So it goes to the OData and connect to the SAP query executor. It run the code and provide you the information, whatever the business user is asking for. And it goes into the loop unless, business user is satisfied with the answer. So that's a flow. So I'm sure you have seen this ES5 system, pretty public SAP system where we can get products. What I have done is I have leveraged this particular table and started creating some of the code to get AutoGen working and try to pull. I can show you real quick. I have a recorded one as well, but I can show you live just for
All good.
sake.
Yeah.
So what it does is, I'll show you. It create the code based on the human as a business user. I'm going to trigger this now. And of course, thanks to Microsoft Research team is helping out, providing some sort of guidance on this framework. And they have a lot of samples available. You can just, bring those samples, tweak for your requirement. And I have used, Chainlight and a couple of other front ends to, to play around. So this is AutoGen Framework. It's more of a, so very first, business users, they want to see the pricing for ST1001 product. So this particular product, the query agent going to send to my data engineer, and it will create the query in the backend and send that query back to executor, and executor will execute that query. It's a simple, example just to show the audience, how all three agents, interacting with each other.
Yep.
It can ABAP program, there is no limit. You can create the ABAP programs as well, and you can create any kind of custom solution. If you don't have limited resources, all resources are busy in their own SAP projects, you can take the help of AI agents to develop at least templates. So in this case, you can see the query was executed successfully, and you can create, complex queries depending on, what, information you are trying to fetch from S4 system on the product table. So this is, sampler. And other one I can show you here, the TaskWeaver. This is the one actually I created. TaskWeaver is actually more for what do you call analytical purpose. What I have done is I have created a custom HANA plugin. You can create this plugin and directly fetch information from HANA database. This is something the TaskViewer is capable of doing that. So I do have a white paper. Maybe I can share later with you. And of course, there are a couple of demos on this one. And last but not the least, early watch, you can chat with your, early watch reports. Just upload on a, weekly basis. Your early watch will be, presented in front of you. You can ask, production system is red, or, how many workloads, running on specific SID. So you can zip all early watch. It becomes your talking early watch reports. So that's the beauty of, Gen AI.
That's really cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. One more is actually more interesting for SAP migration experts. What it does is it's a GPT I have created on Hugging Space. It's a similar to GitHub platform for AI developers.
Yep.
You upload your entire DMO logs into this one. All the migration logs wherever you stuck in error, it will scan the entire logs and give you the solution upfront. What exactly the error is causing without at least on the level 1 before opening the ticket with SAP. It's without you have to. Yeah, it's kind of I developed based on ongoing POC for the customer, and they were like impressed. Okay, this is something we have to explore. We can get this system because they're doing a lot of migration. Our partners doing a lot of migration. These kind of Gen AI apps definitely going to help them.
Really cool.
Yeah, so this is you can capture entire logs. If, as a basis, I remember I had to scan hundreds of logs to get the right error, and then get exactly what is causing the issue. So I don't have to spend much time, because during the downtime you don't have much time to go through the logs. So this is the tool going to help to scan the entire log in a matter of minutes and give you the right information. This is the error causing the issue. So behind the scene, it's calling the code to compile this entire. So let's see the you can see this outcome. So there are 30 error logs captured from SAP up log and console log. It, and you can start looking in what exactly the error is, and it can you can create a images also, like a histogram, how many errors you are getting on particular table. So it's fantastic.
Really nice. Even charts are generated. Cool.
Yeah, that's all I have. I do have, few more, but I think we are up to the time. And of course, our AI SDK, you are pretty much familiar on this one. I'm doing some, experimentation with Gopal Nair on just on the side hustle. He's actually developing this AI SDK, becoming more mature. I think you already have a lot of podcast on this particular topic. So, so we are trying to develop having AI agents working for AI SDK. So it's kind of a combination of SDK as well as autonomous AI agents. So it's going to be fun for having SAP customers.
Really cool. Really impressive. And I think, yeah, you have a huge breadth of scenario, of use cases, of integrations. Honestly, I mean, I have worked with AutoGen, but I had not worked, or I have not worked with TaskWeaver. So I definitely need to also take a look at TaskWeaver. I was, or I am really impressed of what you can actually do with AutoGen. And also, as you said, there are so many great samples available that getting started there is also really easy. And then it's quite impressive what you can do there. But you make me very interested in taking a closer look at TaskWeaver as well. So that is also fantastic.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's ongoing projects, all, on the fly learning, we are learning and trying to deploying all these frameworks to support our SAP on Azure customers. So at the end, they will be the beneficiary of this entire, technology.
No, really cool. Perfect, Amit. I think you brought us a lot of inspiration. I mean, we started with the SAP on Azure Technical Copilot in the GPT Store, but then you opened up a completely new box of additional scenarios with yeah, Microsoft Copilot in general, with the different business-related copilots, the procurement agent that you had, the discussions with AutoGen, TaskWeaver, now the Early Watch Report. So there are some really cool scenarios. So I think it's very clear, Amit, that we will need you on the podcast again in the future to get a new update on this. But for now, thank you so much. That was really fantastic. It was really interesting. Thank you so much for joining us. And as said, I'm sure we'll see you again in the future.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, and it was a great discussion.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Amit.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.